Everybody, and welcome to a new video where I'm going to be answering one of the questions that I get very regularly. And the question is this: do I trade the overnight session or do I only trade during the day? Now, the reason I get this question a lot is because I trade exclusively futures. And the futures market is open almost 24 hours a day. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning New York time and you fire up the charts, the S&P 500, which is my bread and butter, is going to be moving. It's open, it's available, you can start trading it. Now, I exclusively trade during the day. All that happens in the overnight during those hours that the market is open, I'm not involved with, I do not trade. And in this video, I just really want to walk through my reasonings for this, why I only do what I do. And hopefully this will give you some nice insights if you're deciding what you should be doing, and as well as just kind of cue you into a really good thought process of sometimes less is really, really more. Okay, so let's go ahead and just jump into it. The first thing to really talk about is I want to explain what exactly I do, and then I'll explain why I do it. So what I do is I only trade the regular trading hours for every product that I'm trading. So for the S&P 500, that regular trading hours is from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 4:15 p.m. Now at 4:15 p.m., the market takes a break. There's a halt. It resumes trading 15 minutes after that, and then it shuts down again. When it reopens that second time at 6 p.m., that's when it really begins like the overnight session. So the way that I chunk this out is from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the hours where I would be on the screens or that I would consider trading. And then from 6 p.m. all the way through till 9:30 a.m., that's what I consider the overnight session. Now, for every product that I trade, I have the overnight session chunked out. So everything that, if I'm looking at the S&P, I have the overnight session available, just the overnight. If I'm trading it, I have also just that day session chunked out. And then I also have charts that are 24 hours where there's no separation. It's just one continuous train of data. And there's very helpful, useful information to get from the overnight, from the regular trading hours, and even from looking at it in a 24-hour view. So I use that information in different ways, but I'm only trading it and I'm only really involved during the day. So the main reasons why I'm doing this, and really the primary reason why I only trade during the day, is that the action that is happening during the day and overnight are very different. And here's why. Let me explain this. When you have a product that you're trading in the futures market, there is no value in that futures contract. The value of the futures product you're trading comes from whatever the underlying product actually is. So to keep this really simple, let's say I'm trading the futures contract for the S&P 500, the ES. There's no value in the ES, that contract. The value comes from those 500 companies that make up the indice. Now, during the regular trading hours, those 500 companies are open, they're trading, they're moving, and things that are affecting them are affecting the futures contract. And during this time, there's a very nice and what I would call normal auction that is happening, and the price is moving in a specific way. Now, if I come back and it's in the overnight session, the futures contract for the ES is open. I can trade that. But the 500 companies that make up that product are closed. They are not moving. And so what's going on is there's still movement, there's still action, but what's happening is that the S&P, the futures contract, is now more or less moving in sympathy with other markets. So something will happen in China at 3 o'clock in the morning, or something happens in Europe. When something happens, there's some type of correlation, and our market will move in some type of sympathy with that. That's a lot more of what's happening than maybe the normal auction when the underlying product is open. Now, there's money to be made and there's movement that happens overnight. There's money to be made and there's movement that happens during the day. And I'm not even saying one is better or one is worse, but what I am saying is that they behave differently and they need to be handled and they need to be traded a different way. My focus is drilled in on day trading. I've chunked out those specific hours that I trade. I talk a lot on this channel about there being no money if you want to be a generalist in this business. You got to get serious and you got to become a specialist at something. And I've even drilled down that being a specialist to the specific hours that I'm trading, and I'm much more equipped to do that than I am to trade what's happening and what's going on overnight. Okay, another really big reason why I don't trade during the overnight session, why I am trading during the day, is I only have so many hours that I can stay focused. Okay, even as I was saying that one, I almost lost my focus and said something else. But seriously, I only have so many hours that I can stay in trading and be focused and make good decisions. Here's what's going to happen, and it's important to understand this. As you trade, what's going on is you only have so much like computing power every day that can be used for making decisions. And decision fatigue is a very real thing that happens to traders. And what you'll notice is if you're coming in and you're up against the hard right edge of the screen and you're making decisions and you're being responsible, you're figuring out what to do with the information you're seeing, whether to trade, whether not to trade, you're figuring out and holding yourself back from doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing. Every time you make a decision and every time you put together what's happening on the screen, you're chipping away at that decision-making faculty that you have. And it's a very finite amount you get every day. And what ends up happening is a lot of traders fall into this. They'll trade very well during the first part of the day. And then as the day goes on, they slip and they end up giving everything back. They start off being very disciplined and following the plan, trading well, and then at some point during the day, they just slip. It's for no other reason than they tapped themselves out on their ability to stay disciplined and to do the right thing. We only get so many hours of this every day. And it's very mentally taxing. It really takes that decision-making faculty you have and just depletes it when you're trading. And the reality of me staying for 12 hours in front of the screens and trading well that entire time, it's not real. It will not happen. And so for that reason, I have to get very serious about what it is that I'm trading and just stick to that. I've had to figure this out the hard way, but what you'll notice is the same thing that I've noticed. You get a certain amount of time. And then after that, you just start doing very stupid things. And so what you're going to want to do is just be aware when that is for you. And then you want to optimize around the time that you can be in front of the charts because of your schedule and anything else that's going on in life. So for me, I'm trading full time. And what makes the most sense for me is the open in New York. So that's when I trade. That's when I'm on the screens. That's what I try to optimize for. And then what's going on overnight, all those other hours, I have no business trying to be involved in that because I will not be trading well. I'll be making mistakes, I'll slip up, and it's much better for me to trade very focused, very deliberate, take a break, come back fresh, and do it all over again than it is for me to try to run myself ragged. I've tried this a lot of different times, and I can just say that it's never worked out for me at all, and so I don't do it anymore. I just focus in on trading actively during the day. When the market is closed, I'm off the screens and I'm done, and really, during that day session, I'm not even on the screen that entire time. It's only like 6 hours or so, but I'm not even on the screens the entire time. I'll trade the morning session for the first few hours in the morning. I'll take a break, and then a lot of times that'll be it for the day. And if I do come back, I'll just trade the rest of that day session. But there always will be a good break in between. And if for some reason I don't take that break and I just stay on the screens all day, normally it's because I'm digging myself out of a hole or something. It's not because I'm doing very well, all right? So you'll want to figure this out for yourself as well. But a big reason why I don't trade overnight is because I just don't have the ability to stay in front of the screens for too long without being tapped. And you don't either. We all have a finite amount of this. So you want to make sure you're aware of that and you position yourself accordingly for that. Another big reason here of why I don't mess around with overnight, why it's not even interesting to me, is because there is more than enough opportunity during the day, during the hours I choose to work. There's more than enough opportunity there for me to make my daily profits and to make a career out of this. I do not need to be stretching this out and broadening out the hours that I trade. Because here's what's going to happen. Either I'm trading well and I'm doing what I need to do, the market is being favorable, and I'm hitting my profit target. If that's all happening, then I need to wrap up, come back fresh, and do it again. I don't need to stay too long at the table and let myself do something stupid. Or if that's not happening, and let's say that something's not going right, either myself, I am mentally not in it today and I'm trading poorly, or the market is just not being favorable. In either one of those situations, the worst thing that I can do is just stay there and just keep trading. During those situations, I also need to take a break, come back, and live to fight another day. So in any situation, it doesn't make sense to try and stay all hours on the screen. you're better off picking the times you trade. And if you want to work really hard, put in a lot of time and energy doing some back testing, doing chart replays, doing learning new things about your method and taking that deeper. Like, use your time, put in a lot of screen time doing that, and almost spend a lot of time kind of sharpening your sword, and then don't go into battle any more than you really have to. Okay, so you can get serious, or you can get focused on what hours you're trading, and then you can just really stick to those. And as we're just talking about the reasons why I'm only trading during the day, that's really pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to break that down because I get that question asked a lot, and I hope that that makes sense. And as you're putting together what you're doing, I hope that that can be a nice train of thought for you. But then also, I hope you can understand the underlying idea here, that in this business, less is more. And for you to keep drilling down and keep narrowing down what you're doing, even specifically to the hours that you're working and you're going to be in front of the screens, the more focused and the more specific that you can get with what you do, and the more noise that you can just cut out, your trading is going to improve dramatically. All right. So if you've ever thought that, or if you've ever asked that, I hope that you found your way to this video and you get the answer there, because that's kind of a question that comes in quite regularly. But that's going to be it for this video. To the regulars, thanks for hanging out with me. Let's all hit the like button on the way out. If this is your first time on the channel, or if you're just dropping by and for some reason you haven't subscribed, I'd encourage you to hit the subscribe button to stick with me, stick with the channel, and to be a part of the new videos that are coming out. Okay, that's going to be it. If you're going to be on the screens between now and the next time I see you, I wish you a very happy trading. Watch your risk, and I'll see you guys in the next video.